Shalom, Israel. It's your boy Ahch, about to come with this information. It's Black History Month, and we talking about Black consciousness and the Great Awakening that's going on in the world. Everybody is leaving religion and organized religion, and everybody's going in different directions. There's a lot of different lights shining. You think that you're a Hebrew, you think that you're an Egyptian, you think that you're a Moor, you think that you're an alien, you think that you lost people from Atlantis, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna show why Israel, you know what I'm saying? We gonna do this, Black History Month inspired, okay? First off, who are the people that's writing in this book? We got Lamentations chapter 5. We gonna go to verse 9 and 10, okay? He said, we got our bread with the pearl of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Okay, they were starving in the wilderness. When every time you get black. All right, but look, because this is where we gonna kick this off, because everybody in Black consciousness, hey man, you know who you are. We was the kings and the queens before we came over here and ended up in this messed up situation. But how did we go from kings and queens to this? Kings and queens captivity. Kings and queens captivity. Look what he say, verse 15, same chapter, Lamentations 5, verse 15. Our joy, the joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. All right? Now we're going to go back a chapter, because everybody talk about Mansa Musa and how he was the richest king, and he had all of the money and so on and so forth. But they be forgetting about my boy Solomon, King Solomon. He was the wisest king, had all the gold, and everybody all around the world used to come and talk to him. But look at what he say right at the beginning of the first chapter of Solomon. Chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun have looked on me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me keepers of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. That's Solomon. All right. Now we gonna go. Let's look at my boy. Let's look at my boy Job. We remember Job. He went through all type of stuff, just to prove his faith in the Father. But look at what he said when he was going through his. Job chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. One time for the musicians in verse 31. My harp is also turned into mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. That sound like the blues. His heart turned into mourning, and his organ turned into the voice of them that weep. Man, your boy had the blues, man. This Black history right here. All right. So now that we showing that people in here is black, how do we know that the people in here is us? And how are we making this connection? Let's go first off, and let's go to beginning of Isaiah. Look at what Isaiah say right at the beginning of his book. He said right here, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. The Most High have spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. And when he's talking about Israel, he's not talking about that country that was started 70 years ago that came to be in 1948. He's talking about Israel as a nation of people. We were a nation of people, and then they created a land to try to act like that they're us, but we already know that that's not the case. This Bible right here is 1611, way before the country of Israel was established, but they're talking about Israel. The whole book is about the Israelites. Come on now. So, Israel don't know. We don't consider, So let's pull up in Deuteronomy. Who are these people? What's the big deal about them? Deuteronomy 7, verse 6, he said, "For thou art an holy people to the Most High thy power, to the Lord thy God. The Most High thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth." Now look, the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. So it's saying that the Most High called us because we were the underdogs of the nations. Okay, we've been living like this. We've been getting it out the mud since day one. The Most High liked that about us. So therefore, he called us to be his chosen people. Now, I can rock with that. I can rock with that. Let's get the precept to that. Is in 1 Peter in the New Testament. 1 Peter chapter 2. I love it. Look at verse 9. "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." Look at 10. "Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of AHAYAH," the people of the Most High, the people of God. That's us. "Which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy." So the whole book, they know what's going on. The world know what's going on. We the ones that's lost. We the ones that don't get it. Okay? Now, why are we lost? How come we don't get it? All of this stuff is still explained in this book. Now we're about to go back to Deuteronomy again. Now we're going to go to the famous Deuteronomy 28. If you don't know Deuteronomy 28, you're going to get acquainted to it. Verses 15 through verse 68 will explain the curses of Israel. The Most High said that he called us to be his people, and he wants us to be set apart to be his people. If we turned our back on him, then this is what would happen. These curses of Deuteronomy 28. Now look at verse 15. It's going to explain. "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Now, how many people heard that they had a generational curse? Anybody ever heard they had a generational curse? Because I know I've always heard that. We just didn't know how many generations back it went. Look at verse 28. "The Most High shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart." Verse 32. "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand." Ain't that messed up? We having sons and daughters and can't find them. Look at 36. "The Most High shall bring thee and thy king," this is all of us, the whole nation, "which thou shalt set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known." So the Most High is going to bring us into a nation that we didn't know about, nor our fathers knew about, and there shalt thou serve other gods. He said he going to take us to a nation, and we were serving other gods that wasn't him. Look at what it says, wood and stone. What's the cross in Christianity made out of? Wood. What's the stone, the Kaaba stone in Islam? Okay. Are our people serving other gods, wood and stone? Come on now. All right. 41. This is the same chapter, 28. 41, verse 41. "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them." Why? "For they shall go into captivity." Anybody else went into captivity? All right. Verse 49. "The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand." Come on now, this is getting too specific. A nation gonna come in as swift as the eagle flieth? Who nation represents with the eagle? Come on now. Who nation who spoke, whose tongue we didn't understand? You know we wasn't always speaking English. Come on, y'all. Y'all should know better than this, man. And finally, look at verse 68. "The Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again." He said Egypt. Remember the Israelites were Egypt. They were in Egypt. They were slaves in Egypt for 430 years. Now he said, if you don't know your history, you're going to do what? You're going to repeat it. So this is what he said. The Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again, but this time with ships. By the way I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, talking about our home, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Sold, went into Egypt, bondage, slavery, with ships, sold into your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and nobody redeemed us or saved us. Israel. All right. Now, since we know that we Israel now, we just proved it with these curses. How did we lose our name? How did we lose our name? Look at Psalms 83. Look at Psalms 83. They was plotting on us, man. These other nations came and plotted on us. Look at what he said. Asaph was writing this. Look at Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. That means they start problems for us. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So they was plotting to say, hey, y'all remember that name Israel? No, we don't talk about them no more. They have consulted together with one consent. They are a confederate against thee. And then it lists all of these nations. I call them the United Nations, because that's what it is. It's the United Nations versus the children of Israel. That's what this war is, man. Y'all need to wake up and see what's going on. All right? Now I'm going to end it off with this. Because now if we Israel, and we the Jews, and we the chosen people, then who are the ones that said that they was the Jews this whole time and just told us that we was black? Oh, man. Let's go to Revelations and see what the Messiah got to say about it. This is supposed to be in red letters when the Messiah be speaking. Now look at what he said right here. Revelations chapter 2, we going to verse 2 first. He said, I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou cannot bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say that they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars. So first off, he's saying he know where we came from, what we've been through, and he know the ones that say that they claim to follow him. They say that they apostles, but we found them to be liars. This is what the Messiah say. Now let's skip same chapter 2 and let's go down to 9. Okay? He said, I know thy works once again, and tribulation, everything we go through, and our poverty. He know that we poor. But guess what he said? But thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are what? Jews. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. But who are they? The synagogue of Satan. He said he know the people that's perpetrating and claiming your identity, and he know that you ain't know who you was, but we gonna set it all right. So that's what this great awakening is. Now here's something for you to hold on to. He said he know that they Jews. He said he know that they claiming that they Jews, and he know that they really the synagogue of Satan. He know that we really who we are. And he said right here in verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath the ear, hear what he saith to the churches. And that's what he's saying. Shabbat Shalom. That's why we Israel. Ahch, Sham, Kwaram Yasharala. We in here.